And we are live. Hello all, how are you? Greetings from Hack the Box. And as you can see, sun in Greece. I'm very happy and honored to host this MEA today. We don't take for granted neither that you will watch this MEA or that you will be part of our community. So thank you very much for attending. As of Hack the Box, we would like to wish love, happy, peace, and health to everyone in the world. And we really wish from the bottom of the heart all the best. And yes, today we have an amazing MEA that is happening with one of the creators that have created some of the most controversial tools, some tools that have really helped and have been a game changer to privilege escalation, to how you can hack different things and tricks. That has also some exciting news about cloud hacking. And I'm not talking about anyone else than carlospolop, aka the guy behind LinPEAS, and all these exciting tools. So let me introduce to all of you, Carlos. So hello, Carlos, how are you?
Hello, I'm very good. How are you?
I'm very good. I'm very happy and honored to have with you, to have you with us today, and I'm very excited for this EMEA. So, where are you now?
Thank you. At the moment, I'm in London. It's a little bit sunny, but not as sunny as Greece, probably.
Yes. And how have you been? How is life treating you these times?
Well, I definitely cannot complain. I'm doing pretty good. I'm enjoying my days here. Yeah, I can definitely not complain with all the things that is going around in the world.
Amazing. And let's now start and discuss about to everyone that is not familiar with your tool or who you are. I should introduce you somehow. Funny story about Carlos. We were doing this Battlegrounds tournament, and this is how we met. I knew your work, and we did this Battleground tournament on December, and he was our winner. And I'm like, and we were discussing after, like, how are you? What do you do? Anything that you're proud of? And he just says, I have created LinPEAS, and I'm like, you, this is you. And I was completely amazed that our Battlegrounds tournament has some such talented. I knew that it has so talented people, but it's nice to also know someone that I have been using his tool and work and research for years. So kudos and exciting to have you here. And this is how we met. Um, this is a backstory. And for the people that don't know you, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, definitely. Well, my name is carlospolop. I work as pen tester, security engineer. I'm actually an engineer. I study telecommunications engineer back in Spain, and I definitely dedicate most of my time to cybersecurity, to do research, to do pen tests, to try different things, and definitely develop. I'm pretty lazy, or I like to tell that I'm pretty lazy. So instead of just doing the same repetitive tasks one and another, I always try to automate everything, and that's how most of my tools start.
Okay, but it's not something that everyone does. So I think that, well, everyone creates some automations, but I think you will discover later how all this fuzz and buzz was made about LinPEAS and the rest of the tools, of course. So, besides that, you are from UK and you're a security engineer. What else do you do besides hiking? If you want us to share some info.
Yeah, I try to do different things to not get crazy just doing hacking stuff. Before being a hacker, let's call it that way, I was a drummer. I have been playing drums now for 13 years or something like that. So that is my favorite hobby, a part of hacking. And I also do dance classes. So I dance salsa and bachata, and as anyone else probably watching this, I also like to socialize. So I have some friends I try to meet. I have a girlfriend I try to meet also. So yeah, those are the things I usually do.
Okay, very exciting that you are also doing salsa or dancing lessons. I really believe that activities like that really can help also distress and help your mind and help you
Yeah.
focus actually at the end of the day.
Yeah. No, I enjoy it very much because I just can completely disconnect doing a completely different activity, and that helps me a lot to get back to starting researching with more strength. Yeah.
Amazing. And how did you decide to start your career into cybersecurity?
Okay, that's a good one. Well, I think there are two different things I will respond with: how I did get into hacking and how I got into cybersecurity as a career. I started doing hacking when I was told several years ago that I was going to lose internet because my parents were changing the company, and obviously, always something happens and you stop having internet for a month. So I knew that people were able to hack Wi-Fi's, so I started hacking my own Wi-Fi to learn how to do that. And then I do this master's in cybersecurity, and I knew I love cybersecurity. I had already started playing CTFs and so on, but I didn't know that you could have a career in cybersecurity. So this
Okay.
company just came and told me like, "Hey, we want to hire you as a pen tester." And I told him, "Okay, and what is a pen tester?" And they told me, "Yeah, no, you look for vulnerabilities and we pay you for that." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm doing that for free at the moment. You pay me?" And they were, "Yeah, yeah, yeah."
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'm interested. And I got my first role as a pen tester that way.
Amazing. And how did they found you?
LinkedIn. They just sent me a message on LinkedIn. Yeah.
Okay. And how was that? How many years you said that was ago that you started cybersecurity?
Um, how old I am? Uh, so it is like 4 years ago, probably.
4 years
Um,
ago.
yeah, compared to other people, I started learning cybersecurity pretty late, pretty late. But I have taken advantage of that time.
Okay. And how were you in a computer science school, university? Have you been doing something related? How did this curiosity came up?
You mean before I started doing hacking? Like,
Yes.
so, well, I was studying this telecommunications engineering. There I learned how to program, or at the moment at that time I learned how to hate how to program because
Okay.
I wasn't really good at it at that time. I enjoyed more when I started doing my own creations. And yeah, I start maybe learning a little bit of Linux, learning programming, but I didn't got in touch with security until the last course of that degree. And at that time, I just started learning a bit on my own. That was 4 years ago.
Okay. Cool. And so that was 4 years ago. But have you ever thought how you're going to be 10 years from now?
I hope
Besides, hopefully, out of COVID. Yes.
Oh, that's a tricky question. It's the world is definitely moving so fast. I hope artificial intelligence will still allow us to do some kind of job. I hope so. If not, I hope I will be
Developing it.
kind of developing it. So from 10 years from now, I hope I will have still my hair. I like that. Um,
Goals.
Yeah, goals. No, I don't know. I definitely hope that I can still continue learning. Something that I try to do each day since like several years is learn something new every day. I try to read write-ups, read books, see videos of something that interests me. So that is a passion I don't want to lose. I think people should always be learning. And that's something that people, when they get old, they just get other things to do, and you stop having time for that. So I hope I can still be doing that. And I something that I have very clear, and hopefully I will be able to accomplish, is that I won't be taking a job that is paperwork based. I want to continue being a technical guy, and that's getting every year that is getting complex and complex, more complex, because well, in some companies you need, not in my current, but in some companies you need to become a paperwork or a manager or non really technical guy to develop your career, and I wouldn't like that.
Okay, so you would like to be full technical even 10 years from now.
Yeah.
Okay, so technical manager. Uh, that is very cool though, because many people, well, you cannot really know. Maybe you will, maybe you will not, because we see that after sometimes you really want something else, not paperwork exactly, but more of a strategy, more of like mentoring and leading the team and finding new opportunities and working more as a mentor.
That's an option. It's very tricky to decide what I'm going to be doing in 10 years. So maybe in 10 years, you can just call me and we check if any of this is real or not. But at the
Perfect.
moment, I would
Um,
like to continue being technical, even if I am training other people, even if I am leading over other people. There is different ways. Like I would like to be a leader that teach technical stuff, and not a leader that just manage that everyone is okay.
for sure, technical lead. Amazing. And how, since you want, one day you will train other people. Currently, how do you train yourself? What do you find as the most optimized way to train and keep your skills sharp?
Um, well, it's complicated because I'm not definitely focused just on web, on infrastructure, on reversing exploiting, on any specific topic of cybersecurity. I like all of them. I'm better at some things that to others, but I definitely like all these things. So it's complicated to be up to date in everything. But what I try to do is just to read research that other people share with me that are highly interesting. I read a lot of bug bounty reports, because then you find a lot of creative ways to exploit new things. Obviously, I play CTFs, and I read a lot of write-ups of CTFs, because then you learn these cool tricks that someone have think about, and more than one time this has helped me in real life to exploit some things. Also, I try to do some certifications that sounds interesting, but I'm not doing anyone at the moment. I don't have time for that. But yeah, mostly reading reports, research, playing CTFs. That's the way I usually try to keep training.
Wait for it, something might come up from us. Before that, you said though that you really like everything in hacking. And in a CTF, though, what is the one that you enjoy the most? Or, like, if you are a team of 10, what is the first challenge or type you go after to?
So in my team, I usually start with the web challenges, because that's what I have been mostly doing, and that's what
Mm-hmm.
I'm better for. So I start usually with web challenges, or if there is any kind of mobile challenge, I usually start from that one, because mobile pen testing is not that difficult, but it's not something all the pen testers are going to be into. So
Exactly.
I usually do the mobile ones. Then I also enjoy a lot infrastructure, boot to root machines, like where you have a little bit of everything. I enjoy that ones,
And you can use your tool.
and I can use my tool.
Okay, and about mobile, it is mostly Android or iOS or both?
It's in CTFs. I have seen mostly Android. In
Yeah.
real life, I have been also doing mostly Android, but I think it was last year I decided that I cannot be a mobile pen testing without knowing iOS, and I dedicate a few months to learning at least the basics to pen test that. So I
Okay.
now I can do iOS pen tests, or probably play iOS CTFs.
Okay.
people can read about it in Hack Tricks.
Of course. I love it. I actually am jealous when I did the test previously. Okay, I know my jersey is awesome, but I would also to have some of the cool swag. So I hope when we meet you, we can exchange some swag, or if ever if you have your swagster, we will be contributors. Um,
Turn on that.
yes. So in iOS, like you mean you learned about how to do like the SSL unpinning, the jailbreak, and these kind of things.
Yeah. Well, a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff. But yeah,
Nice.
obviously, you need to do these kind of things in order to work to test application. Actually, I found that it's easier to capture mobile traffic of an application from an iOS, a jailbroken iOS, than from a root Android. And that has helped me in some pen testing. Like I was having maybe some problems just capturing the traffic with the Android application, and I just went to iOS, and it was easier.
Okay.
But you
And
need
then
to
you
have
compare,
the,
yeah.
sorry.
And then you compare the requests in order to understand what is done what is the result in iOS in order to translate it to the Android, how it would end to the same. Or you just did it like you couldn't, I don't know, you were doing a web pen test and you just use your iOS in order to see anything else. Like, how did this come up?
Oh yeah. Well, I was given the Android and iOS application, and I don't know why the Android emulator. I don't know. At some point, it just gives you problems. And at the moment, currently, I don't have here any root Android device, but I have a jailbroken iPhone. So I just install the iOS application and I start capturing the traffic from there. And it's easier. It's easier to break the SSL pinning and just to install the board certificate and everything.
Yeah. Very nice. Yes, because also with the emulator or anything, always things breaks, or you always need to have things to, I don't know, to make sure they work and update the libraries. And if your Android libraries updates, then the emulator doesn't work. I don't know. So many things. Ah, that
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
I know the struggle.
This this actually happened these years in the cybersecurity challenge CTF. There were some kind of easy Android challenges that I was doing, and at some point, I my emulator just broke. Like I don't know why. I try even to uninstall it and install it. It just wouldn't like to run for some reason, and I end up doing these challenges instead of capturing the traffic and looking at what was happening, just reading the Android code and emulating the request from Barb, just copying and pasting what I was seeing in the code.
Okay.
But yeah, emulator just break, and I don't know why.
Tip for everyone from my pen test days, for these kind of things, you always have a VM with a snapshot that you always go back. You know, if something breaks down, you always have the snapshot with the versions that you want or work. So if see hit the fan, uh, you can always go back and fix it and use the things that you know actually work. You might lose some work, but you will have your tool. Everything is a trade-off. I don't know.
That's
That
a
has
good advice.
come from in the past.
That's a good advice, definitely.
Okay, that's not advice to you, of course. It's an advice, something that I did.
No, definitely.
Okay, so but I think you said you do. So do you do also bug bounties?
Mm, not really, not really. I have also always wanted to dedicate proper time to bug bunnies. It's just complicated for me to find that time. But I played once in a live bug bounty event in a congress that happens in Madrid called RootedCon.
Ah, yes.
Um, yeah, you know about it. So there is this thing called Hacker Night, where they did bug bounty live events, and a couple of years ago, just before COVID or just when COVID, um, and I actually won it. I got pretty lucky because this is from 12 in the night to 6 in the morning. So all of us were pretty tired. But anyway, I went with some friends. There were some free Red Bull, so that helped a lot. We started trying to find bugs, and after 3 hours, we didn't find anything. And just before starting the competition, I told my friends, "Hey, I'm going to find a Java deserialization, and I'm going to win this thing." So at this point, half of my friends have got home because they were just getting tired and bored.
Okay.
And I told my friend that was still there, like, "Hey, I'm going to look for Java deserializations. Like, it's the time." So I just started looking in the web page, and at some point, I just saw these magic bytes in base 64 of Java serialized objects. And
Okay.
like, this cannot be possible. I just fire up this gadget inspector burp plugin,
Yeah.
and I found that it was a serialization. It was vulnerable. So I just got the guy from the company of the bug bounty and tell him, like, "Hey man, I just managed to do this," and he was like, "Oh yeah, we need to fix that. Yes, send the report over." And thanks to
Really
that book, I managed to win that.
nice.
That
That's
was
amazing. And it was your first time interfering with something like that?
with Bang Bounty. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
first and only time at this point.
Okay. And now that we say this, you had to stay on a concept and try to hack something that is out of your comfort zone. I know this is not in the series of questions, but how did you manage to do it, even if something that you interview for the first time?
Um,
Because
well,
many times in our job, and when the players play the starting point or the academy modules, and they started now their hacking game, or they play the more competitive boxes, when you see something that you don't know, this is Kubernetes, I don't know, have never done it again, oh, this is something, how do you approach this kind of topics?
yeah. When in CTFs, I try to find other write-ups using the same technology, same trick to see what other people have done. And once the CTF has finished, I always dedicate some time there for the next weeks to investigate about that topic. This is something that
Okay.
happened in the battleground with Kubernetes. And now you can find a highly precise way to pentest Kubernetes in hack tricks, because I was very frustrated about that thing, and I just dedicate a lot of time to that. That won't happen to me again. But in real life, I have had these assessments where they just give me something that I haven't played with, and they tell you, like, "Okay, you have 3 days to do this." And that is annoying, obviously, because in those cases I always like to have a couple of days before to learn about this stuff. But I think
Hmm.
that the only way to manage to prepare professional report with some kind of value is dedicate some time at the beginning to learn about it. Like, don't get directly into the source code if this is just source code. Like, learn how is the technology working behind that, because then you will be able to understand better what you are doing. It's no ideal, but in the live pen test of the pen tester, that happens quite frequently. So you are going to go to sleep that at night. So dedicate time, learn about it, and try and do your best. Do your best.
Yes, and it's always very nice when you know that something is coming up, even from a manager perspective, what they can do, like to know in advance what technologies the team is going to face, so they can go straight ahead and say, okay, next week we have a graph SQL something pen test. So you need to learn about it, and you can search boxes that are about it. Maybe a city of write-up that is about it. Anything. So that is a very good guideline prep with similar technologies.
It is.
And what is your favorite topic in hacking, cyber or IT in general? Maybe I don't know. You love more networks at the end of the day, since you started like that.
Yeah, no, no. I just started like that. It's complicated. It's complicated to say that one is my favorite topic, because I could tell you, I told you that I'm very dedicated to web, because that most pentests are off. But I also enjoy a lot mobile. because, well, you not only have the web, but you also have like your server side, which is the client side application.
Mhm.
But I also like a lot weird services in infrastructure. So I enjoy a lot just learning about this new service or this new kind of database. How can you exfiltrate? How you can log in inside of it, and actually Hactrix is full of different services and how you can approach them. So I'm not going to say that I have a favorite
Mhm.
topic, but I'm going to say that my favorite thing in hacking or IT are probably creative vulnerabilities. This kind of vulnerabilities that you are reading this report, and then you start seeing things that you know about, but people is changing them in a way that is makes it just awesome. Like, whoa, I couldn't believe you did that just with these tools. I enjoy a lot reading these kind of reports, learning about them, and then try to find them myself.
Okay. So you said the creative vulnerabilities, right? Did I get
Yeah,
the term
creative
correct? Yeah.
vulnerabilities.
Creative vulnerabilities. I really like this term. We could even have it as a section, the creative vulnerabilities. And then you cannot say that this is the CTF. It's not CTF, it's creative. No, I'm kidding. No guessing, never. It's not good. But yeah. Uh, so, if you did not do hacking, what else profession would you be doing, or your area of expertise would be?
um, so when I told you that I started playing drums quite a lot, so I guess drummer will be an option. It is still an option if sometimes I get tired of hacking. It is still an option.
Okay.
But the other thing, when I was younger, when I need to decide between health science and technical science, I almost went to health science because I have always been very interested in the brain. So at that time, quite long ago, I was thinking about being a neuroscientist,
Okay.
but at the end, I went from the technical science thing.
Okay. You went from neuroscientist to neural networks. Makes sense.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, but I understand also. Would you say if it doesn't work out before you go to become a professional again drummer, you can consider coming to hack the box. And if that fails also, I don't know, then go play drums. I will come as well with a ukulele or something. But yeah, uh,
I will
but that is
remember
very
that.
cool. Yeah, that is very cool that you wanted to do something with health. Um, and since you stayed though in cybersecurity and you stayed in CTFs, do you have do you enjoy them and do you have a favorite one, or there is a CTF that maybe you played once and you said, this is amazing. So our audience knows to make sure to play it.
Well, of course, I enjoy CTFs. Unfortunately, these last months I haven't played as much as I used to. Well, because other things came, but I at some point I will get back to it definitely. I enjoy them a lot. They challenge you. You always learn some new tricks. You always get very frustrated. It's like, well, everyone that is watching this probably knows 99.99% of the time just being frustrated, 0.001% of the time saying yeah, and then you get back to the frustration with another challenge. uh, but you learn, and I enjoy that. And even when you finish the CTF and there is some challenge you haven't solved, you learn how to do that. You also learn that. But the other question is more complicated. Favorite, I cannot say like I have this like this CTF is my favorite because even the ones created by the same people, same organization is going to vary year after year. But I have to say that the ones that I enjoy the most are the ones that I play with my group or with other people, because you are not just challenged by the challenge, you are also challenged by your group. So you want to be the first one solving it. You want to be the first one surprising the other people and
Mhm.
tell them how to do it. So I enjoy that, like doing it in a small community, trying to solve the challenges. I prefer that this challenge that you have to do alone, just solving that I find that more boring. And
Okay.
also, I would like to say that I actually enjoyed the battleground on Hack the Box, because this Jeopardy CTF that lasts 24 hours, 48 hours, I enjoy them, but I end up destroying. Like I try to go to sleep, and I all I can think is about the challenges, and you don't sleep properly. You don't like. There is something complicated there. Probably I will need to work on that. But I like the Hack the Box battleground because there were just only 20 minutes games. If you manage to win, you win. If you lose, you lose. But everything ends there. You saw what you can do in 20 minutes. You do your best, and at the end, you will learn what you didn't found during the challenge. So I think it's more stressful in short time, but less relaxed in the whole day.
Exactly. And what is mistaken is that people think that the battlegrounds are they are hard to exploit or anything. It's not hard. It's a very small time. But if you play it again and again and again, it's like a skill. It's like bike. Eventually, you're going to get good at it, and it also teaches you how to attack and defend at the same time. For me, it was impossible when we first launched the product internally, and we were testing, etc. But after that, I loved it because it's like there are these like intense 20 minutes of your life, and then peace is
Yeah.
coming. Yeah. Okay. And you were playing some CTFs, and you ended up in the national Spain team. How did this happen? How did you end up there? How did you end up entering to this competition? How the rest can do it?
Well, in Spain we have this. Used to have. Well, we have this CTF challenge where people in the age that can compete can try to manage to get in a good position. So they will be called by the in CIBE, which is the organization that is creating this team. So there is a CTF. The best ones between the age ranges required are going to be called, and they do some training, and the best 10 people or the 10 people that best fit for the team are the ones that are going to go to the competition. So some years ago, I was in the same conference where this CTF challenge was occurring, but I was competing in a hackathon, developing cybersecurity tools. And at
Okay.
that moment, I almost didn't know what a CTF was. So um, after the competition, I just met some of the guys that were playing this CTF, and I told them, "Hey, what is this?" And they told me, "No, it's a competition, cybersecurity. You find vulnerabilities." I just got interested about CTF. I started playing myself, and a couple of years later, I just tried to get into the team. And at the end, last year, I managed to be part of the official team, and I even was the captain, which is cool.
Okay. That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah, I enjoy it a lot.
Did you meet anyone from the Greek team?
Um, During the competition, I have met the Greek people that are inside the European team.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty nice people. I like Greek people. We've have a lot of fun. So I just say hello to them, but actually during the competition is kind of complicated because everyone is during the days focused on the challenges, and
Okay.
during the night is trying to have some rest for the next day.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and yeah, and the last night I couldn't find. I actually couldn't find anyone from the Greek team, so probably I continue seeing the Greek guys from the European team, but I couldn't say hello to all the guys of the Greek team.
Okay, perfect. I'm asking because I know they were there and I know they go every year, and we know many of them. Some of them work for HTB. They're young talents. Some of them get trained, and we know them. Cybersecurity community is small.
Yeah,
Uh,
really.
per country, also we know everyone each other. That's why I'm asking. In all this path, in all these years that you do cybersecurity and even standing, what is your key to keeping the best notes? How do you take notes?
That's easy. Hack tricks.
Okay, hack tricks. Okay.
Like everything I learned, I
Mhm.
like everyone else. I used to have or my cherry tree or my notepad or whatever. When I put all the tricks that I was learning and you try to classify, during the first 2 years I lost my notes like, I don't know, 3 4 5 times, because I need to reset the computer, whatever. I end up losing everything. So someday I just decide, hey, let's put everything on the internet because I'm sure I'm not going to lose that. And I start creating hack tricks. Actually, those were my personal notes that I kind of try to structure so it can be useful for other people. And during pen test, during some research, whatever, I usually use this Obsidian tool just to take some notes in
Mhm.
Markdown. Yeah, but yeah, probably the best answer is Hacktress. Write them down, everything I learn.
Perfect. I'm not sure if everyone will start learning how to use all Git codes in order to push and update their notes, but it is for sure optimal in order to share knowledge with cybersecurity community. And now let's go more to LinPEAS and the rest of the tools. How much time and knowledge does your project or work requires?
Well, the more knowledge you have, I guess, the less time you are going to need. So all these tools, LinPEAS, WinPEAS, even Purple Panda, I started them without having a lot of expertise on what I was doing.
Okay.
So I started LinPEAS. Actually, initially it was called just LinPy. And Limpy, yeah, and it was just then it becomes awesome. So I add the word awesome in the repo, but at the beginning it was just Limpy, and it was just a one-liner because I was playing these CTFs probably in Hack the Box where you can execute some kind of commands inside the host, and then you need to start looking for SSH keys for where you can store our PHP to access it and to get execute whatever. And at that moment, I was missing like, hey, if I could just execute something like Linenum, get everything, that would be make me easier to find what I can do. But I couldn't do that, or it was more complex. So I just created this very long one-liner
Okay.
Limpy, which you just could copy paste and get a very nice summary of what was happening in that box. And actually, you can still find that one-liner in the Limpy's repo.
Okay.
And then that one liner was getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I decided to put colors. I decided to put lists to find useful things, to find dangerous things, and that couldn't be no longer a one liner. And I started creating what we know now as LinPEAS. So when I started, I didn't know much about bash programming, or
Mhm.
not even how to make a script work without bash, just with ZSH, dash, in macOS, in any mostly any Unix flavor. And those are things that I have been learning just by, hey, I have an OpenBDS box here in Hack the Box, and LinPEAS is not working, so let's fix it so it works. Then I get into macOS. That was a pain because more commands change their arguments. The information is stored in different places. So at the end, I end up learning a lot, but it takes me a lot of time, a lot of hours. It has taken me a lot of time to develop this kind of projects.
Okay, so it's something like a steady process and it continues to develop as your skills developed.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Fortunately, now it's much easier for me to maintain and continue developing it. But at the beginning, it was I needed to dedicate a lot of hours being frustrated, thinking why it's not working here and it is working here.
Okay, and how much time does it take you to create this awesome tool? In order to get it like in a form, to form a tool that it started going viral, how much time does it take to get in this shape?
Um, well, it took me since I started developing until a lot of people start using it. It could pass. I I don't know what to tell, but I could say maybe close to a year or something like that. Obviously not fully dedicated, because this is a tool that I have been improving while I was playing Hack the Boss, while I was running it, and learning more tricks in my current day job. Obviously, I have been improving it, but also I think it's different. Sometime before it people start using it, I really saw that it was going to be very, very, very useful for the people, because it was very, very useful for me in CTFs, in my real life. But then it gets complicated for people to just know a tool. So that's another story. But yeah, it took me at the beginning several hours, and now I dedicate just, well, some maintenance and some addition every week.
Okay. That's very cool. And it's very nice that you're actually be open about it so people can be like, oh, I can never create something like that and feel always frustrated they cannot get at this point. So that is cool. And what is your most memorable memory while creating it?
Well, I think the most memorable moment, the most one everyone knows about probably, and is the day I start getting messages from everybody saying that a guy has failed the OSCP exam because of LinPEAS. That was pretty funny.
How is this possible?
Oh,
Used it or because you gave false, I don't know, false
no, no,
results?
no, 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 no. The problem is not that it was a false positive. The problem was that the tool was terribly good at doing privilege escalation. That was the problem.
Ah, okay.
So, so what happened is that I had this check for a vulnerability, which is called pseudo tokens. If you search for
Okay.
that in Hacktricks, and so basically, the way to look if the current computer is vulnerable is just to try to exploit it. So LinPEAS is an enumeration tool, but as in this case it is as complicated to exploit to enumerate, I embed a exploit inside LinPEAS. So it will just find it is vulnerable because it is exploitable, and it will just tell you, okay, just execute this and you're root. It will just
Mhm.
prompt you this. So the thing is that I had this exploit inside LinPEAS for several months and nothing happened. At some point, the OSCP changed the privilege escalation method of one of their machines and decided to use this trick. And this
Okay.
guy just run LinPEAS, saw this, and say, okay, I'm already root. Genius. And the guys of offensive security considered that it was an auto exploitation tool and
Okay.
decide to ban LinPEAS and make this guy fail. And
Oh
I
my
told them,
God. You started all of this? You started all this drama? I'm kidding. Uh,
yeah, I was waiting for several months that this happened.
excellent, as Mr. Burns says. Okay.
At the end, what I did is it is no longer out exploiting anything. It is
Okay.
just going to tell you, hey, this is vulnerable. Just go to these hack tricks links where you can just copy paste the exploit. Apparently that's enough, and yeah, so LinPEAS is no longer an auto exploitation tool. And something I want to tell to everyone watching this: any LinPEAS version currently can be used in the OSCP, because every week, every month, I have someone still thinking that you cannot use LinPEAS. You can, you can. This was solved, and actually offensive security released a blog post speaking about LinPEAS, saying that you can, with the new update, you can use it.
Nice. Okay, that is exciting news because it's very frustrating to not be able to automate some of the stuff when you have a very concentrated time in order to complete an exam. So that is
Yeah.
very cool that you guys sorted it out. Um and what's the next? And when you meet people and get to know you, how do you feel that, like, okay, how do you feel that from people that say, that's very nice to meet you, I love your tool, or tell us how to create something related? How does it feel?
Well, pretty cool, I guess. So yeah, when I meet new people in cybersecurity, no always they are going to know my name. No everybody will remain that. But if you say to talk about the piece, if you talk about hack tricks, they will probably know what you are talking about. And it's pretty cool to say, no, I'm the one behind that, because well, because they say, whoa man, I use it I use it a lot of times in my work. Actually, it has happened to me that some guy has came like, hey man, you are the guy behind LinPEAS, whatever. And I was, yeah, oh, thank you very much, it's nice. And then an hour later he came back and say like, hey man, are you also the one of Hacktress? And like, yeah, I'm the same one. And he's like, whoa man, that's amazing. Yeah. I mean, I definitely enjoy that a lot, because when I started these tools, this project, I never expect them to be very highly used by the community, and I'm very proud and very happy that people use it.
Okay. And was there any time that you did a major bad thing with the script and the results were fake, false, or something didn't something was really wrong and bad?
You mean inside LinPEAS, inside?
Yes, inside LinPEAS, like it gave a false positive, or okay, we have this recipe moment that I think is memorable and it is big thing, but it
Yeah,
was something that you could project.
yeah, probably that's the biggest one. But false positives, yeah, well,
Something that you dropped the
I, I,
ball, let's be
I have
honest.
some funny story. This is not about false positives, but I
Okay.
have some friends that when I start, the banners of LinPEAS, which is some ansi color, so in the P, and now it's very beautiful, because people of the community has helped me improve that banner. At the beginning, it was terribly ugly, and actually, you can still find the first version inside the script. I still have it there. um it was, yeah, and people just keep saying me like, man, I'm having nightmares after watching this P, please improve it, like it's awful. I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that.
Okay.
um and another one, yeah, in LinPEAS I try to highlight these highly probable privilege escalation things, and these things are no more than probably regex.
Okay.
So in a lot of cases, I haven't outputs from same tools may vary in different environments. So I try to improve that regex as much as possible, but in some cases you're going to find this red yellow thing highlighting things that aren't really a privilege escalation. It's just that the regex is misconfigured. So I ask for sorry about that, but I promise that usually when you find that, it should be a previous escalation. But yeah, people has get annoyed about that, like, hey, your tool is lying to me. I cannot previous using the, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna fix it. Don't worry, don't.
Okay. But was it something that was really bad?
Really bad.
Yeah, something that you dropped the ball, that you were like, okay, this is bad. I don't know.
mm, I try in the cybersecurity world is very complicated, but I try to run tests, be as much sure as I can of any test that I'm putting inside the tool. So I haven't had any disastrous moment where LinPEAS just start telling you that everything is vulnerable, everything is bad, or
Or
tell
if
you
your
like,
script checks something that really messes with the system and you cannot debug it. This is what I'm trying to ask. I cannot believe you have never dropped the ball. This is not human.
but maybe I'm not understanding the question. You mean that?
Like something like it was really bad in the script and you couldn't debug it and you were searching and you were banging your head against the wall in order, to fix it.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
ah,
Obviously, yeah. No, I mean it's bash. It's, well, and I don't know if you have checked WinPeace in batch. Like that thing is awful. Like writing a script like that in batch. I haven't had this hard time in my life ever. I don't recommend that language to anyone. But yeah, of course. I have I have even need to share a screen with people that I didn't know because LinPEAS wasn't working in their machine that only them had access to. I needed to set the screen. They saw me what was happening. I was checking the code, and we were debugging together.
Oh
The
my God.
But until now, nothing that I couldn't have bypassed or improved. And actually, LinPEAS can run in anything supporting SH, and that is pretty impressed because different system work with different programs, different information, and this kind of thing.
For sure. Okay, now it makes sense. But
Yeah, sorry, I wasn't understanding the question.
no, no, no. Why ask? Sorry, of course. But I mean, the amazing thing is that you did communicate so much with people that you don't even know from all around the world in order to find what is wrong with your script and help them. Like, it's amazing how hacking connects people at the end of the day. It's a powerful tool and it's something that can bring people together for a greater cause, and I see that in our community. Cheers to everyone on Discord, our team. But it's amazing how you can meet so many people. And have you made also any friends from these groups, like sharing and debugging and?
Yeah. Actually, I met a lot of people thanks to these tools that I'm still in contact with. We used to play maybe some CTF. They asked me question, I asked them. No. A lot of people have just contacted me because bugs, because they were interested in learning more, because whatever, and we just keep in touch. Yeah, it's what you say. It's amazing how you can meet so many people just from your computer to discuss hacking things.
Okay. And how difficult was it for people to get to know your project? How did you make it known, if you tried at all, or it was all by the community?
Um, it was mostly the community. The moment I put colors to LinPEAS, I knew that that was pretty cool because it was helping me a lot. Because at that point, I was just starting learning about privilege escalation in Linux. But in order to tell the community I had these tools, I used to mention this tool in some hack the box write ups, hack the box machines write ups I was doing. So in every privilege escalation in Linux, I will say, hey, I use this tool and it colored that this is red. So I check out that service running that localhost port and you can escalate. And people start knowing a little bit about that, but it wasn't until IPsec just released this video saying, hey, I found this cool tool. That night, I was just reloading the GitHub every 5 minutes,
Oh my God.
and the stars just continue growing in GitHub. That
Really?
was that was the moment. That was the moment.
Okay.
From that video, everyone started using it, and and now most of the pentesting community knows about it.
Amazing. And not only the Pentest community, right? We did also this little research. We did this post on Twitter, like how, and all the rest of the social, how else you can use LinPEAS for what reason. And you can use it also maybe as a defender. Like you can use it proactively in your local host, and you can have several scripts like that, your local host, your environment, the one that you manage, in order to understand what is going on. Be like a little bit of a hacker of your own.
Yeah, exactly. People believe that this is just a tool for attackers, but it's actually probably more useful for defenders because you can just run it with all the users, check the output, and try to find things that aren't correct.
Nice. And now let's go to more generic tools questions. So we have, I should write down also who did all these questions, but if you can give some suggestions or your favorite tools per categories, like this is my favorite tool for this one, this is my favorite tool for this thing, this is my trick for this one. Don't say that these are hack trees. Yes, but if you want to name a few, and we will link also hack trees, but tell us your favorite tools for different stuff.
Um. Okay. It's complicated because at the end you use a lot of tools. Obviously for web, the tool to go is Burp Suite. Um, Oh, sorry for all the Saproxy people. I also like that tool. I started being a Saproxy boy, but at some point you just changed to Burp. That's definitely the go-to. Again, web things like SQL Map in infrastructure, Nmap, but obviously all these are very well-known tools.
Mhm.
Well, Ghidra, IDA, like it's complicated. It's
Yeah.
complicated to say not very well-known tool for something because most of the known tools are the best one for something in particular. So I don't know. Maybe you can try to ask me about some category, and I can think about something different.
Cloud hacking.
You know the
I
answer.
know it's the next question, though, but I needed to do it.
You know the answer, but there is a tool called GC exploit in order to attack Google Cloud Platform that has different ways to abuse different permissions, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, and not a lot of people know about it.
Okay. And now that we're discussing all of a sudden about cloud hacking, uh, what about Purple Panda? Cloud hacking, we know it's here to stay. FYI, we have some amazing cloud news coming from Hack the Box. Expect the black sky that we have, that is for businesses, something also for everyone in the community who have something coming up. But you, how did you get this tool together? How did this happen? Like, how did you got the idea that, okay, cloud hacking is here to stay, I'm going to develop
Yeah. So my current company is very cloud based. And I needed to learn about that. And at some point, they told me like, "Hey, try to find out things that are misconfigured, permissions that people shouldn't be having, integrations that shouldn't be happening." And the problem with that, with SaaS applications and cloud, is that they are very, very related each one with each other. So I had this problem that, okay, I have hundreds of users with hundreds of permissions within hundreds of resources. It's not possible to just go by one with each user, because even if you do that, even if you manage to go by one user at a time, and you search for the permissions, you are not going even to check if that user can escalate to a different cloud to do this other thing, to escalate to a different cloud, to come back to the original one and get even more privilege. So that's why I start thinking about, hey, it would be very awesome to have a tool that will relate me, like each user or each service account's principal, to whatever he can do. And
Okay.
then, as an attacker or as a defender, you're going to be able to say, okay, I have given this user these permissions over the resources. Now I check the complete path and I realize that, hey, I am giving these right permissions that can be exploited to get to this other point that can be exploited to get back with more privilege. And you can find this kind of stuff because usually people just think about, okay, I'm giving you permission over this resource. And that can be perfectly fine. But if that resource have other integrations with other clouds, you are maybe not thinking that you are giving permissions also
Okay.
in other places, and that's what Purple Panda is useful for.
Okay. So it's like a map in order to hack the cloud and find all forests.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
But
yeah.
forest
That's
is
pretty good.
called, yeah, forest is called in AD. How is it called in cloud? Is it the same terminology, forests, or is something else?
I
Skies.
I'm not sure if there is a word to describe like different platforms how they are related.
Okay.
But yeah, we can call them forests. At the end, it's just a relation because between
Yeah.
different entities.
Yep. And why you name it Purple Panda? A common question. I saw it everywhere. I loved also the logo. I loved it because it's purple. I loved it because it has the panda. One of my not favorite movies, but I love this, with panda that it was chubby. No one believed in it. And it was like stairs, my old enemy. And you see this panda achieving everything. So hi, why purple panda?
Was that Kung Fu Panda?
Yes.
Ah, okay. um, so as as offensive security, I thought that a lot of people may manage to somehow exfiltrate these tokens that might be GitHub token, in this case GitHub token, service account token for Kubernetes, or even via SSRF you may manage to get a GCP service account token. What can you do then with that token? you can do two things. Either you start creating your own tools to contact the APIs and go by one, trying to check what you can do, or you just send to the bug bounty program and say, hey, I found this token, you guys figure out what you can do. Or if you're in
Mhm.
a red team, you spend a lot of time doing that. And I didn't like that because for the piece, I am starting to integrate a lot of ways to find new passwords, new tokens, and these kind of things. So I was thinking like, okay, let's have a tool that is able to ingest this piece, to ingest these tokens to get new information. So I
Mhm.
just search in Google like animals that eat peas. And I think it was in Google Images that a red panda appeared, and it was pretty cute. And I say, okay, this guy can be my next tool. And I
Red
didn't.
panda.
It was a red panda. Yeah, it's called a red
Okay.
panda. Like it's not that it's actually this kind of a small animal. It's not big
No,
like
I
the
know
panda.
you. We
Okay.
have people in the company who didn't care. I don't know if you watch this, that really love this red panda. They have created even a channel about it. I didn't even. Yes, I know this purple panda. Everything about purple panda. Challenges about purple panda. Not purple panda. The
Red
red
panda.
panda. Yeah. Now we were going to have something about purple panda. But
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, I love it. About because it was eating peas. Nice.
Yeah, because it was sitting piece, and I didn't want people to think it was still an offensive security. So I decided to put it the purple color to say that hey, this is useful for attackers and for defenders.
Nice, nice. I think it was a very clever, not a commercial trick or anything, but it actually stresses that you don't have to be a hacker in order to know security when you're in IT, right? And what was your biggest challenge creating this tool?
Oh, a lot of information. Um, the biggest challenge creating and the biggest challenge I still have is that there are so many integrations that I need to uncover somehow. Like I don't know, maybe this GitHub repo is being used by this resource in GCP that is then executing that code within this service accounts or from this repo. You can previous to there, or maybe just inside GCP. You are saving this code in this bucket that later is using there. So you have right
Mhm.
permissions, you can previous to that other service account. Like there are a lot of relations, and it's not very clear how they are done. So every time I learn from a new one, I try to put it in the graph. And the problem I'm facing now is that there are so many privilege escalation ways that every time I run Purple Panda and I trying to search for privilege escalation, I just got tons of results. Like
Okay,
it's very sad. It's very sad because it's like okay, you can previous from here to here in these 10 different ways. It's like no man, there is a problem.
okay,
Um, and I need somehow to create a good way to visualize those results because at the moment you use this Neo4j Bloom, which is cool because I didn't need to program it, but these kind of results are pretty ugly and I need to improve that. But I'm not much into UI design, so I don't know when that will happen.
okay. Actually, everyone from the community that really would like to support in this, or anyone from Hack the Box, please contribute. We have amazing UI team.
Yeah. Please feel free to contact me about that because I will need some help there.
For sure. Or our web expert team. I don't know if you have in our web challenges. I don't know if you have ever saw them, but the guys, I don't know how much time they spend not only just to the storyline, but also to the UI. Everything is so aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, yeah.
Something to look very nice. Yeah.
It's true, it's true. And actually, I have been thinking about that myself. Like, this challenge is complex enough to need several days to create it, and they even take time to create a nice interface for it.
Always web challenges, any challenge that may has an interface or something like a layout. The team always try to. We actually try to have not only a coherent path at the challenges, but also to the UI and what you see,
Mhm.
to have an experience.
Yeah.
So, what was your favorite moment, or your most proud moment, your favorite feature from this tool?
Um, well, probably one of the first releases, because I have been developing this for several months before releasing it, obviously. And one of the in the initial moments, I just run this query, putting my name and saying, "Hey, where can I privilege escalate?" And it just started appearing vectors, vectors, vectors. I was like, "Yeah, it's working," and I can compromise the whole company.
Oh my God. The time has come that you did before.
So
Okay.
yeah, that was pretty nice.
Okay. And do you use also the tools at your work? Like,
Yeah. That's the main reason behind Purple Panda, because I need some way to do this easier. I couldn't be just creating a script, and I needed some graphs and seeing the relationships and to clarify my mind.
amazing. And now let's discuss about the other tool that everyone is also is talking and using as a repo, Hacktress. What was the inspo about this project? How you would describe this tool or repo? Not just for everyone that doesn't know it, except the people that ask for dark mode in the chat. They ask dark mode when for Hacktress. But yeah, what was the inspiration behind it?
Um, well, mostly it was the OSCP. Um, at that time, I was preparing the OSCP, and I just found that I have to say that while I was preparing the OSCP, I was not just studying and doing the OSCP machines. I just dedicated a lot of time researching about other what other peoples do. Like if you find this other service, if you find this web vulnerability, and I just start getting too many tricks in my head that I know I wasn't be able to remember them. And as I
Mm-hmm.
told you, I was very used to lose my own notes. So I just say,
Okay.
hey, I'm going to put it in internet. I'm going to write them down here. So I start just for the SCP. It helped me to structure all the things I needed to check for each machine of the exam. But then it has helped me to remember all the tricks I'm learning, because now in most occasions I'm going to say, okay, I know I can do something here. I don't exactly remember the commands the way, but I know the page where this trick is in Hacktrick, so I can just go search for it and I can find that trick. And if I wouldn't have hack tricks, I know a lot of friends, they's like, hey, you remember this blog that I shared with you 6 months ago? You remember the name? Where was it? Like I hate doing that, and I start just taking
Putting all these
notes.
notes together.
Yeah.
Okay. I really like that from your tools, what I understand, you are trying to clone yourself. With LinPEAS, you almost did it. You almost auto-exploited and destroyed someone's recipe. Now, Purple Panda, you can achieve a company, like you can hack a company with the press of a button. And Hacktress, you keep, it's like all the mind, everything that you have here, it is
Yeah.
all in a blog.
That's just, I told you that I was lazy at the beginning of this conversation. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. I prefer to press a button or do a quick search and just find the thing I need.
Okay. For a lazy person, you have done a lot of work, but okay.
That's also true. I'm a very
Eh,
lazy person.
and one time that Hacktress really saved you, and some ways for the people to use it, like how you recommend it, and sometime like really saved you, like you said, thank God I had this.
Okay. Um. Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you. I use hack tricks. I write in hack tricks almost every day, but I use hack tricks every day. Every day there is something I need to check there because I know I have written that there. So we can say that everyday hack tricks is saving me time and helping me a lot. But I can remember this time, and this is funny. I was doing this interview,
Mhm.
and they asked me something. They asked me some technical question. Obviously, that kind of tricks, if I don't remember at the moment, I'm very certain that I have there in hack tricks. So usually I will tell them like, hey man, I will just take a look to hack tricks. If you let me just 10 seconds, I can search for it and give you the answer. And this guy was like, no, you cannot search for it. You need to tell me now. What he didn't know is that I had already hack tricks open in my computer, and it was a conversation in a webcam. So I was doing like, yeah, let me think about it. I was writing the search, click on the link, read it very briefly, and tell him the answer. and that definitely saved my day because I didn't remember exactly the trick, but I could just search for them while he wasn't noticing it and give him the answer.
This is your current job position.
No, 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 no. It was another interview. No,
Okay, that's
actually,
pretty cool though.
if I tell you my current job position, maybe I get fired.
If you did that, okay, cool.
No,
Story time. Um,
no, it's not actually my current one, but it was funny.
okay, but at least saved you. And let's argue both points. I can understand why we need to remember some things always by heart, but it's not always easy because hacking it has such a huge spectrum. That's why we say half of the job is to report and keeping notes. The notes
Yeah,
are very important. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And I don't have that good memory, so I definitely need to write them down.
Cool. And now we discussed all about the tools. What is your goal for hacking or anything for this year?
Well, I used to have these goals of talking in this conference or doing this certification. I can say that for this year, I don't think I have something specifically that big. Like I don't have anything into mind, but it's true. I might not have a big goal for the year, but I always have small goals for every day.
Mhm.
So every day I wake up, I know that I have several things to do that at the beginning I probably don't know if I'm going to be able to accomplish, but I will definitely try. And I like this way of working because this assures me that I'm going to be learning something new every day, that I'm going to be doing something fun every day, and I'm going to be improving my skill set. Because at the end, if I set just a big goal like, hey, I want this certification for this year, I can dedicate 1 month, 2 months, 1 week, get the certification, and I have the rest of the year. So
Okay.
it doesn't feel right. So now I just like to have like different ways, different things to accomplish every day, different little things.
Okay. Makes sense. And any other future projects?
Yeah. I'm definitely full of future projects. So I have some exciting announcements, but before that, just today, I was just contacted to kind of be a professor in a new masters that is going to be occurring. So that's cool. That's cool. I will
You're
be.
going to be a professor in a master.
Yeah, yeah. That's cool. That's cool. I like it.
Very cool. What are you saying? That's very cool. And you're so young, and that's amazing. That's really, oh my God, I
It
wish
is.
you the best. You will spread the knowledge. Yes.
I will
Spread
try.
it like a mouse or virus.
I definitely will try. No, but it's pretty cool. I'm excited. I'm excited about it. I have never been a hacking teacher.
Okay.
I think it's going to be awesome to just share the knowledge and see other people struggling where I struggle and make their life easier, probably.
Okay. And it's very nice that they will hear something that they can correlate so much because of you will be very close to their age.
Yep.
Or even younger. And now the time that I were waited, and when you told me, when you dropped this news on Discord, I was like, okay, this is amazing. Let's go for the exciting exclusive news that we have with us today. Tell us all about it. I cannot wait to see this.
Okay.
Yeah, no
So
pressure.
no pressure, no pressure. No. So I have been. People might have noticed that LinPEAS, WinPEAS development has been maybe struggling a little bit lately. I have been still adding some checks for the latest vulnerabilities, but most of the new stuff I have been preparing for the past month, I have been keeping it for myself because I'm going to be releasing some exclusive content, and which will imply to have access to the latest piece, the latest version of Purple Panda, that I need to work in AWS and integrate that with Purple Panda, and also the latest research in hack tricks, the latest tricks that I'm going to put. And I'm going to put out there some subscriptions so people will be able to access all these tools and all this new content, because my goal at the end is going to be able to dedicate to the tools, to dedicate to the research, create more content and more quality content that is useful for everybody, for every pen tester, for every red teamers, for everybody.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, for that, I need to create this subscription way. So people will need to pay a bit in order to have access to these amazing, awesome, incredible tools and content that I will be releasing probably in late March.
Okay, soon, in a month.
Yeah. I hope that in less than a month. Yeah, so those are the exciting news that I hope people will be able to, well, sponsor me and help me in this new project, so I can dedicate to them as much time as possible. That will,
Actually, yeah. Sorry,
yeah,
it
well,
was amazing that many people said that also in the comments. Are you thinking to create? Oh, my microphone. Are you thinking to create something exclusive, or something subscription based, or what is the future? So I think everyone waited also for this move, and I think it's a nice step up to your
yeah,
tool career. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. No, no, this will be subscription based to access the exclusive content. My idea is not just to dedicate now to exclusive content. I still want to help everyone. So the goal is every month. I haven't decided the amount of months. I will be merging the master versions into the community versions. So Hatrix is not going to be frozen. The beats are not going to be frozen. Just instead of having maybe new things each week, they are going to have them every every few months, but they are probably going to have more new things added that if I was just dedicating time as I'm doing now, dedicating to other things and so I think it's going to be good for me. It's going to be good for the people that need this exclusive content, and it's going to be good for the people that just want the free content.
That's amazing. It's always nice to have something for the community and something, at the end of the day, I know we would love also to have everything for free, but we need also to make ends meet. So you need to do some tweaks, but that doesn't mean it cannot serve both worlds. And we have also amazing questions on the stream. I don't know if anyone wants to ask anything right now. I see some of the questions are mostly if you ever thought about the prod or paid version. I think we just discussed about it. Yes, what tips that you have in order to keep your skills consistent on a daily basis? I think you said it, like small goals, right?
Yeah. I have these small goals, and I try to read as much CTF, bug bounty, vulnerability research reports as possible.
Amazing. So again, what you're asking, Elite, well, it is part to do pen testing. It is on our first minutes. And I think we are done. We can wrap up for today. How was it, your first summer with Hack the Box?
Awesome. I have enjoyed it. I enjoy a lot this talk, almost as much as I enjoy the battleground.
With less stress, I believe.
Yeah, with less stress, definitely. Like that day was amazing. Like I
Yeah.
was very high in stress for 20 minutes. Then so low, so relaxed. Then back to the stress, back to the
Yeah.
adrenaline. I definitely enjoyed those moments.
And you had also COVID.
And I had also COVID, so make the high things to go higher and the low things to go lower.
Oh my God, that was a roller coaster for life.
Yeah,
Uh,
actually, I told my team that I wasn't going to be playing at the beginning of the week because I couldn't get up of the bed. But at some point that Friday, I just feel better, and I am very happy that I managed to do it.
and we are very happy also because we got to meet you and you also won the tournament with your body.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, Carlos, for your time today. And I wish you all the best for the rest of the weeks and how your project will develop. And we cannot wait to see the sponsorship option and the subscription options on your Git, and we will support for sure, as
Thank
I
you.
hope everyone. Yep.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me here, and thank you for supporting me and everything. Very appreciated.
Have an amazing rest of the day. Bye,
Thank
Carlos.
you. You too. You too.
And that was all from Carlos. Oh my God, it's dark. Yes, it gotten dark, and I should turn off some lights. So, but yeah, before and besides that, thank you so much for being with us today. Let me remove that banner, of course. Thank you so much for being with us today. We don't take it for granted, and as I said, we wish peace, love, and health to everyone in the world. And we couldn't be happier to have all of you here. If you want to catch some of the exciting news, or if you want to jump, make sure to watch our video again with Carlos. We're going to post it on our YouTube after, with also the timestamps. And any questions you may have, leave them on Discord. You can find him there, or on the Git, and you can check out the tool. We have a new box coming out tomorrow, so you can try everything you learned there. We have something about cloud that is coming, so Purple Panda, get ready. So yes, that is all from me. I hope everyone is well. We wish you all the best and have an amazing rest of the day. Leave always your comments about new projects or other MEAs we could do. And yeah, have an amazing rest of the day. Bye.